Hey guys, this is John from US Dash Camera. Today I got another review of the G1W-CB. Now in the past I have reviewed the G1W. It was the G1W-C model. The C stands for capacitor, and generally with dash cameras you want a capacitor because a battery can overheat, especially in a car if you're parked out in the sun, and it could actually break open and leak acid and destroy a camera, and it's happened to one of my cameras in the past. Now the CB is a black version of the C model. In the past, the G1W has always had a chrome ring around the front lens. So a lot of people didn't like that because it made it very noticeable in your car, and one of my most popular videos actually was when I spray painted my G1W-C all black and made it look a lot stealthier in my car. So this camera's quite old now. It's been around for a while. I reviewed it about a year ago, back when I first started my channel, and it's still one of the most popular dash cameras, so I figured I'd check out the new CB model. So I did buy this from Amazon. It's currently $59. This is a black box version. There's a couple different manufacturers, I believe, of the G1W, so you can get different models from different companies, but they're all basically the same thing. This one does come with an HDMI cable. My previous one did not. Here is a data cable. I personally never use this. I just put the memory card into my computer with a USB adapter. And here is the cigarette port charging cable, or power cable I should say, since it doesn't have a battery, so it doesn't charge. A capacitor does hold a couple second charge, but it's very insignificant compared to a battery. It's gonna hold enough power to make sure the last clip saves. Here you can see the suction cup mount looks really dirty for some reason. It's actually on the inside, so that's a little strange to me that it would have dirt in it like that. Now this is not actually the second G1W I bought. This is actually the third, because several months ago I bought one and the suction cup mount was actually melted and didn't fit the camera. So here you can see, like I said, it's an all black design besides the light, so there's no chrome ring around the lens, which is really obnoxious, I personally think. So this looks a lot better. I really wish they would just get rid of the light though, because the light is basically pointless. You're never going to need it. Other than that, it's the same camera. Has some menu buttons, arrow buttons. The bottom right button is the mode button, so that would switch between video, photo, or playback. We got the down and up arrows on the right side, the record on the top right. Then up top we got a power button, a menu button, the power input, and an audio video out. Got the HDMI on the side, and the micro SD card was on the opposite side. So here is a quick look at my previous G1W-C, which, like I said, I did spray paint all black, and then I also added that CPL filter. Now if you're not aware, the CPL filter is for blocking out some of the reflection in the windshield. You can see I just used super glue, or not super glue, hot glue, with a hot glue gun, and it looks pretty bad. So with this one I'm probably going to try something different, see if I can do a better job this time. And I actually ended up just gluing the mount into it, because with all the modding I tried, I really just messed it up in the long run, and it doesn't actually even stay closed anymore, which is a common problem with G1Ws. The cheap plastic after a while starts to get warped from the heat from being in a car, and sometimes that just forces it to come unclosed. So here you can see there's another bracket. I bought this second mounting bracket for the CPL filter, so I am going to be trying to put that on. Hopefully it'll look a lot more professional this time. So I'm going to quick go through the menu just to show you guys if you haven't seen it before. So it does have the black box logo when it starts this time. Now I'll be honest, so many cameras have this menu that I get tired of actually going through this menu over and over again with so many different cameras. This one is actually a little different than the G1W-C I have. I'm guessing it just has a newer firmware, but here you can see I'm flipping through modes, and there's a playback mode, and like I said, a picture mode and the video mode. On the menu, we got the resolution. You're always going to want to be in 1080p with this camera. The loop recording times, wide dynamic range, exposure levels for brightness. I usually just keep this at 0. The motion detection I always just leave off. If you leave it on, it seems like the G1W has issues constantly recording while they're driving. So a lot of these settings are the same, like the default record audio, the date stamp. The gravity sensor, I would assume, is the G sensor, but they changed the name for some reason. Here we got a license plate feature if you want to put your car's license plate in the video. It's a little bit more form of proof, I would suppose. Got some date and time settings. Now the auto power off is not going to matter because with the capacitor, it's just going to turn off instantly anyways. Beep sound. Many languages as usual. A lot of these Chinese cameras have a lot of different languages. Accidentally switched to the photo mode somehow. So the photo mode does actually have its own menu, but I'm not going to go through that because I don't think it's very relevant. So we have TV mode, which you'll want to keep on NTSC if you're in North America. That's just a video televised format. 60 Hz also for North America. This will keep the lights from flickering in videos on street lights. Now the lamp setting is the light on the front of the camera. Got format. I'm gonna quick format it. Screensaver is how long the screen will stay on. Now the delayed shutdown is if you want it to stay on a little longer, but with the capacitor again it's not even going to work. This is just a generic menu, so the same menu is going to be on the regular battery version. Now I quickly want to show the difference between the new menu and the old menu, which is likely just due to differences in firmware. You can see the menu was different, or the opening image. So when we scroll through here, some of these menu options are going to have different names, like the G sensor was gravity sensor on the new model. Now on the other menu, we do have what it calls the IR LED, which was basically a lie because it's not actually infrared. It's just a normal light, and it was pointless back then and it's pointless now, so I wouldn't ever use it. You can see mine was painted black on my old camera. I'm not going to bother doing it with the new one, but it's pretty easy. I'll provide a link down below if you do want to paint it black. I have a video on how to disassemble it. So you could do this to check to see if the processor is a legit version, because there are a lot of fake G1Ws out there. And you can do it to take the front plates off and spray paint them without damaging any of the other camera or getting paint on the rest. So here you can see the light turns on, and it's not that bright, and the reason I say it's pointless is because all it's going to do is reflect in your windshield, so it's not going to do anything useful in your car. So like I said before, I am going to do a do-it-yourself video on mounting this CPL adapter onto the front of this camera, and you can see I actually have a different mount on it. I'll explain that later, but that's going to be a separate video, so look out for that. Now I'm going to show a couple quick clips. I'm not going to go too in depth because this camera's been around for a while. There's a lot of clips online. My other review had quite a bit of video clips, but I did want to see if there was any difference between this and the old model, or the old version I had. And it pretty much looks the same to me. It's decent, acceptable 1080p quality. It's nothing amazing, but it's only a $60 camera. It's still the cheapest camera I would personally give a good recommendation for. There was the VW Tech VW898 camera, which is like a Mobius, and last I saw it was only $40, and It was passable quality, but I don't think it's even for sale anymore. But now I would probably say this is the cheapest camera I would recommend. The video quality, like I said, is good enough. It passes all my tests. It doesn't have any special features like parking mode. There's not even an option for GPS. And one strange thing about this camera is it seems to have issues with Class 10 memory cards. I mentioned that in my previous review, and as far as I know, it's still a strange issue, so I would actually recommend a Class 4 memory card, and I'll provide a link down below to the specific memory card that I use that works for me. Here you can see when I'm driving straight at the sun, it doesn't seem to handle the light very well. It's basically just a lot of silhouetting, but like I said, it's a cheap camera, sort of to be expected. And the night quality is not terrible. It's definitely passable, but nothing to write home about. This really is the best cheap camera you can get out there right now. I would personally recommend spending a little bit more on getting the A118C because I think the form factor is way better. But if you really want to save money, I would say don't go cheaper than this camera. So overall, the camera hasn't changed much. It's been over a year since I got my first one, and I still think it's a decent camera, and I would still recommend it to people if they're looking for an affordable, cheap camera that has good enough quality. So I'll provide a link down below to all of the videos I mentioned, such as the do-it-yourself videos or checking to see if it's a real G1W or whatever else I mentioned, and I'll include some links down below to both the camera and the memory card. You'll likely notice in my videos I am including these Amazon links more often because I am an Amazon affiliate now, and it does help support my channel. It doesn't make me a ton of money, but it does allow me to buy new cameras such as this one, or the CF100 by Blacksys, which I did purchase and have coming in an upcoming review. So check the links down below. If you like this video or my other videos, please hit like and subscribe. Share to anyone you think that would be interested in this camera or the other dash cameras. As usual, drive safe, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.